Well, good day, guys, and welcome. Well, today we're going to have a look at something a little bit bigger. You might have heard about it, and if you haven't, you will know. What am I talking about? I'm just cleaning up here a little bit. Right, I'm talking about this. Yes, she's a biggie. Oh, yes, she is. It's called the Brunhilde. It's from Vapefly and the German 103 team, which are 103 members of German vapers who came together and designed this. It's a top coiler RDTA. It's called the Brunhilde. It has a very special way of wicking, so you can have a look and down low, and I will explain to you how it wicks. And I like it, I really do. I like it that it's tall. I don't mind that. Lots of people got put off because it's a tall atomizer. I don't mind that at all. And I think it's very solid, very well built. Well, is it really? Well, let's have a look down there and see what it is all about. And here we are. We have a look at the Brunhilde, which is this tall guy we were just talking about. And I'll just give you a quick walk around. That's what she looks like. Has Brunhilde stamped onto the thing. There's the side airflows you have. If you turn the top cap, let's start with that. If either that's for the bottom airflow, that's the bottom airflow hole. Or if you turn it another 180 degrees, that's where you then put your juice in. Let's see if here we go. You see, if you look closer, you can see there are these 3 drips. That's to show you that's where you put your bottle in and put your juice in. And as I say, 180 degrees further, that would be where you are. Your bottom airflow gets fed, and then obviously you also have side airflow, which is here, and you have the top cap, which you can turn, so you can open and close the side airflow to your heart's content and exactly how you want it. Here I would have the bottom row only opened, and then you can start from the top. Now I would have 6 hole opened, and obviously what you see on this side, given that it is a dual coil, you also see on the other side. Comes with this rather comfortable drip tip. I like these style of drip tips. They actually work very well for me. Here we go. Then comes with the lid. Let's have a look inside. Nicely domed. Then obviously you also see this top cap, which you can also remove. Let's just do that here quickly. Maybe not quickly. Here we go. So that's the top cap, and that's obviously where the airflow gets regulated. There is no solution for single coil, so this is dual coil only. Right, then let's have a look quickly at the deck while we are here. So this is what it looks like. So from the bottom airflow hole, which is this one, which you saw when I turned the cap, the air will go inside here and gets evenly distributed to both sides. You see the pillars where the wires gets fixed right over here. You see them there, and the same on the other side. And then obviously you will have your coils right in front of this airflow, and then the airflow would come from the side as well. Then you see these cables, steel cables, turned steel cables. You'll find them right over here. They go right down into the tank, and they actually help you with capillary action to bring the juice upwards, and your cotton will then be on these steel cables taking up the juice. Then you can also unscrew the bottom part. Let's do that here quickly. There you go. You also see already that you can remove the glass, no problem. There's the O-ring here at the bottom, and there is the Brunhilde sign, which obviously protects your glass very nicely. So if you want to do a deep clean, no problem whatsoever. And here you see the cables. This is what they look like, and they carry the juice upstairs right through here, and you can remove them if you want to. I would suggest to remove them as little as possible. Even when I clean, I leave them in here, because then they last obviously a lot longer than when you take them in and out. Once you're finished, you just screw this back in. The 510 is connected to the upper part, and there you see the bottom says Brunhilde, don't vape in the bin. You see the rather high serial number, and that is manufactured by the German 103 team, and obviously then built by, let's have a closer look if it is saying, Vapefly. Vapefly obviously manufactured it. I forgot there for a minute. Here we go. Right, this is what it looks like. Let's put it on our Etty stand. Here we are. And with this one, I had actually normal plain coils in there. I think 24 gauge coils in there. I thought, let's upgrade a little bit, and let's put single Claptons in. This is it. So this is simple Claptons. Right, let's just get a pair of pliers here, and let's get rock and rolling. So that's the party starter. It's always a funny part, rather than trying to do some wicking and coiling. There's always things going wrong. I'm sure this will be no exception. So what you do is you put your coils in like so, and then from the side, these are hex screws, you put your hex screws in. So I don't put them in all the way, so I leave a little bit of room, and the screws come from the side. So if you have flat coils, they might get mangled a little bit. You then afterwards just have to have a go at your coils again. So here we are. That looks about all right. Not too bad. We will do the final. Then we'll nip the wire off right over here. You obviously could also just cut the wire beforehand if that's what you prefer. It's all up to you. And this one is sticking out a bit far. Let's get a bit closer here. Here we go. There we go. Right, we'll go and correct the positioning of the coil once we have both coils in. We have another one here, which then obviously coming from the other side would fit into the opposite holes. Here we go. You'll see I've spaced the coils because I have 6 reps here, and the holes are quite a bit apart, so I find it prudent to space them a little bit. Right, let's screw that one in. Let's get that one a bit closer and screw it in on this side. And that's it. That's it. We'll nip it off here. And then we'll nip it off at the bottom, trying to nip it off without destroying our other coil. Here we go. We seem to have done that. Right, now we get let's get a 3mm out here quickly and have a quick look at repositioning the coils. So if we look at the positioning, we try to have it in front of the airflow, which we seem to have right over here. We do the same over here. Here we go. We look, what do we look like from here? Not too bad, not too bad at all. I think we can live with that. Right, so we are in front of the airflow. Okay, now it's probably a good time to burn out the coils. So we take our trusted Ages Legend. We are at 35 watts. Zoom out a bit. We can see what we're doing. And you see that there's a bit of a, obviously they are spaced coils, so hotspots is not really an issue. So all we're doing now is make sure they both burn it more or less at the same time, and we get oil and dirt away from them, burnt away from them. Right. Now it's probably the time to put some cotton in here. So I'll take some organic cotton, which I just cut here. Here we go. Well, that should be enough for both of them. So we cut it again, more or less in the middle. There you go. So we have 2 pieces of cotton. We do the famous pinch and twist. Fiddle it in here. We need to pinch and twist it a bit more. Basically, we could, like a dripper. That's all you need to do, because that's basically what it is. This is a top color RDTA, so that's like a dripper. Because all you want to do is to get cotton onto your wires coming out from the bottom. Here we go. Let's take the other piece of cotton, pinch and twist it as well. Go, fiddle it through. And here we are. Right. Now we see the wires are right over here, so that's more or less halfway down. Between these 2 O-rings, if you want so. So that is a good point to aim to cut your cotton. Same over here. Same over here, more or less halfway between the 2 O-rings. So it's not you don't need to be exact by the millimeter, but yeah, just gives an idea. Right. And so it's relatively long, but it's obviously what you want, because this is your reservoir. So in other words, when the juice comes up from the bottom part, you want your cotton be a reservoir. So your cotton is basically there to keep the juice and keep enough juice there until more stuff comes from the bottom tank. Right. Get what I'm saying, don't you? You better. Here we go. So you can be quite generous with your cotton. Don't need to be like with the normal tank, you know, be afraid that things don't go. You just want the ends of the cotton touching the top of these wires. Right, what we do now, we take a juice. What do we take today? How about some peach shot, huh? Haven't had peach shot in a while. Let's go for the fruity flavors today. Fruity, fruity, fruity. So we'll put some here and some here. So you give it a fair chance to start. So you give it a generous helping of juice to start with. Cotton sucks up the juice beautifully. I'll try to mess as little as possible, not like me. More up here. More up here. We have vape. We have vape. Now the other thing is, people have moaned that the way to fill it is too fiddly. If you have the normal Gorilla bottles like I'm having here, put it in. You squeeze it. Yes, you need to be a little bit patient, but it's not like it's not going in. It's going in quite nicely. And then it has a decent capacity. I think, if I remember correctly, around about 8 milliliters. So yeah, there's quite a bit of juice going in here. So you give it a generous helping. You can really give it a good squeeze on your Gorilla bottle. You can see it coming up. And you see, if you don't, if you obviously stray from the hole like I just did, then you make a mess. That's obviously what some people were concerned about. And that is true. It is a tiny hole. Could have been a little bit bigger. If I mean a little bit bigger, I'm thinking about maybe the one of the Mato. If you have seen the Mato before, seen a review of a Mato, I've seen my review of the Mato. That would be probably better, but it's not unworkable. It's actually the first time I make a mess. Obviously the camera, which makes me make a mess. Here we go. And you put that on. And you take your lid. Remember, this big hole is the bottom airflow, so you take your lid, you line it up with the bottom airflow. Here we go, and then you can adjust your top airflow to your liking. Okay, here we go. You can either have it like that all holes get adjusted from one side, or you can, for example, just close off the top row, if that's what you want. And here we go. That's the Vapefly Brunhilde, wicked up, juiced up, and ready to go. Let's talk about it a little more upstairs. See you now. And here we are back with the Brunhilde RDTA from Vapefly and the German 103 team. This is still the original drip tip it came with. I still have the juice and the coils in here. There's simple claptons, spaced claptons. I have re-wicked it in the meantime once, and that's how she rocks. Yeah, it's very nice. The taste is very nice. I have peach one shot in here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, this is obviously not for everybody. It is very tall. It is as tall as an 18650. That's how tall it is. So it gives you an idea of the size. And that is obviously not for everybody. So it's not something which you know, top shirt pocket friendly. No. She's a biggie. But it is basically, and this is what I like about top coiler RDTAs, and this is why I have some of them. This is one of them. I obviously also have here. Let's put it there. There you go. I have this one. I have the Mato as well. You will see that later on. I will tell you a little bit more about the Mato, which is also a similar top coiler RDTA, just a single coil from a different reviewer, different company. And we will have a look at that. But what is the advantage of these top coiler RDTAs, and which is the reason I like them so much? We all know the best flavor you probably get is from an RDA. because the coils are closed. The juices gets directly dripped onto the coils, and you know, you are just close to the evaporated juice, vaporized juice. Evaporated probably will take a bit long. The vaporized juice, and you have wonderful taste. Now these, the problem is you have to keep dripping, or you have to put it on a squonk. This one solves that. You don't need a squonker and you don't need to drip, because you have a tank at the bottom and you have basically an RDA at the top. So you get your juice, gets wicked up through these cables, steel cables, gets wicked up and right onto your cotton on top, and the cotton on top then sucks it up. There we go. It looks a little bit like that. Let's not get too close, because we know it gets out of focus. You see, you can basically put your cotton in like you do with the dripper, and then you are ready to rock and roll. Now, something I don't like about it, well, as I say, the turn-off for some people might be that it is tall. Then not for me, but apart from that, I actually don't have any problem with this. I really don't. I find this fantastic. Cables, yes, you need to be careful with those cables. If you take them in, out, in, out, in, out, they might start to disintegrate. But if you do what I do, when you clean them, just leave the cables in the top. I don't remove them. I just clean them, put them in my ultrasonic cleaner, and that's it. That works perfectly well, and I think they will last for a long time. Yeah, that's the one thing you have to look out for. It would have been nice, you know, just to be greedy, it would be nice if it came with a squonk pin. You know, you can put it on top of a squonker, so it has 8 milliliters capacity. You put it on a 10 milliliter squonker, and then you can walk around with 18 milliliters, because if you put chunky coils in there, let's say triple core fused Claptons or aliens, or, you know, staggered fused Claptons, or yeah, all these wonderful things which you can put into a dripper like this, then this will go through juice at higher temperature levels quite a bit. Yeah, it will. And so it will go through those 8 milliliters quite a bit. If you have just normal simple Claptons, it's quite acceptable. It's actually very nice. I like it. Lasts me very long, has wonderful taste, and it works very well. So if you're not put off by the sheer size of the thing, the tallness, and if you're not put off by the steel cable system, which works very, very well, just need to be, you know, looked after a little bit. You know, don't be too rough with them. If those two things don't put you off, I think you have an excellent RDTA. I like the whole engineering of this. I like the solidness of this. I like it that the glass is protected here. That's just fantastic. So it just feels a solid, well-made product. The threads feel fine. I like the drip tip. So for me, that's a very nice RDTA, and it encompasses in me everything an RDTA should have. And the only thing with RDTAs in the past is that you always had the cotton hanging down into the tank, and that always kind of looked funny. Didn't like it. Looked a bit, you know, unorderly. Here with the steel cables, that problem is solved, because the cables bring up the juice, and you just have the cotton on top of the cables like a normal RDA. So the Brunhilde RDTA from Vapefly, the German 103 team, is one which certainly helped me along on my journey, because it's easy to wick, it's easy to coil. You saw it down there, and once you have done that, you put your juice in, and then you're ready to rock and roll, and you have suddenly you are rocking a double coil RDTA. Wow, like the big boys, you know, it's fantastic. It really works well. One thing is the fill port. They could have made that slightly bigger, let's be honest. It's not impossible to get juice in there. It's quite fine. I've done it many a time. Obviously I messed it up down low, but that's normal for me, isn't it? But when we later on look at some other top coil RDTAs, there are different solutions which you could possibly have used to get juice into your tank. this side filling works. If you make the hole big enough, this hole is just a tad tiny. They could have made that a little bit bigger. Yeah, but apart from that, it's just it works very well. It gives me excellent taste, it gives me excellent heat, it works very, very well, it is solid, and I cannot see this dying on me anytime soon. And this is the Brunhilde. Thanks very much for popping in. Have a great time, and vape on. Greetings from Cape Town. Goodbye.